like white people and black people in South Africa.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I think it's when in South Africa you had basically legalized segregation. So you know how we had Jim Crow laws in the South? It's like that, basically. So you have, you know, the Dutch settlers who came in and colonized South Africa, ruling over in a minority rule over the black majority, basically making these laws so that everything's segregated legally. So you have like separate hospitals, separate schools, separate living areas, separate waiting rooms, separate bathrooms, everything. And you know, in this country we had this idea of separate but not equal, but we knew that, you know, separate but equal is never true. And the same was true in apartheid South Africa.
And they had these like crazy ID cards for black people, and it was like being a foreigner in your own country, because the police would like request to see that, and their like passports, like proving that you were a citizen in this country that your families have been in for like so many years.
Yeah. And ridiculous. And so apparently there's like a lot of riots and people. That's like there's a revolution that started to just get like everything settled, and like I feel like that's where the whole Nelson Mandela thing, like that's where the image we get him from, because he was kind of like he was like at the forefront of that revolution and getting everyone together.
Yeah, and so he and a lot of others that he worked with were able to finally end apartheid in 1994, but that's still really late. You know, like the rest of the world basically was desegregated by then, so it's crazy that it lasted that long. But finally, you know, we get this democratic revolution, and hopefully, you know, they have all these ideals of, oh, it's going to be a really different country, like everyone's going to be integrated and all our problems are going to be solved.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it worked out, right?
I think it's okay now. I think
I feel
it's
like
integrated.
I feel like the Dutch should be able to coexist with everyone.
Yeah.
Definitely. Calvin.
Hey, Calvin.
Hey guys, what's up? What are you guys talking about?
I didn't know what apartheid was, so.
Did you go to South Africa?
Yeah, I just got back from South Africa. I went there this summer.
Oh, that's so cool. It was great, right?
It was awesome. Like the resorts and stuff were really cool, and when we got to go to like the southern tip of the country, the Cape of Good Hope, you know, that stuff was awesome. But the rest of the country is really like not at all what I thought it would be when I left.
Like how?
Really?
I feel like it's weird.
It's way more segregated economically and racially than I thought. Like half the black people I talked to, and the white people as well, don't even talk to the other race, and a quarter of all people don't even come in contact with the other race. So it's really like completely separate. The only people who have regular contact with both races are government workers and cops.
Wow. That's so weird.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really like there's so much animosity and like anger between
Did you like
people.
ever like leave like the tourist areas and like where you were living?
We had a hotel, and it was basically like right in the middle of two parts of the
Oh,
city.
so you get to like examine like the whole city.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like on one side it was really poor, and the other side it was totally like made for tourists. You know, it was like huge malls with big gaming rooms and fancy restaurants, and on the other side it's completely just destitute.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like people live in shacks and in shambles.
Oh yeah, shanty towns. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
The conditions there I hear are pretty bad, right?
Yeah, from what I know, the shanty towns are like, it's just a really impoverished, just poverty-stricken like area of each town, and it's not too far out from like where they're building and where like they're making better, and it's most of the, like it's only like black people, mostly black people, and like people who have been there like their whole lives, their ancestors have been there, and from what I know, like the tourist side is like all like the Dutch and the white people and like English people who have colonized there. And basically, like, they have poor health care, poor to nothing health care, like, bad economic systems, the schools are really bad. Like, they have, and their resources, too, like, it's a really awful place. And, like, you know, like, those tins that are, like, on like, cars, like, and, like, boats and stuff? Like, that's kind of, like, what the shanty towns are made out of, and that's what, like, people live in.
That's crazy.
And, like, a majority of, like, reasons why they only hang out, and only, like, talk to, the cops is mostly because like there's a lot of violence there, but the violence is mostly fueled by racial tension between the white people and the black people.
Probably class stuff as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally understandable. Like, if your people are intentionally put down for years in like violent oppression, and your leaders and friends are thrown in jail for nothing and beaten and killed, it's like I would be mad too, and that's just the way it is.
And like a revolution later, and you just get constant representation of like what you've lost. Like I can imagine and see how it fuels that. So you just have these wheels just keep turning that we're not gonna have this dialogue, we're not gonna talk about what happened, we're just gonna keep going on, pretend like nothing happened, and feel unified but
But I think until some of the racial tension issues are solved and
Yeah.
some of the class differences issues are solved, I don't think that there will be progress in South Africa.
Yeah.
But hopefully, you know, in the near future, some of the people in South Africa can, or maybe, you know, some of the people from somewhere else